So while this woman was in labor, her husband gave up the ghost. I mean, while she was feeling the labor pain, shouting and all that, they discovered that her husband had already given up the ghost. The man was no longer breathing while his wife was in labor. Homo, hey, Homo, this scene was like, whew, man, that's messed up. So let's talk about this movie. Let me do a little review about this short movie on YouTube titled Tanko's Diary. All right, so first of all, first things first, what is the storyline of this movie? So the storyline of this movie, it's about a young boy named Tanko. Now, Tanko had this disease, he had this sickness that, once he does something extra, maybe, he plays too much or he stresses himself, once he does something stressful, he will have the disease, he will start reacting to the disease, and maybe sometimes he will collapse, sometimes he will just become stiff and all of that. Now, because of this Tanko's health issues, his parents, they were like, Tanko, don't do this, Tanko, don't do that, don't swim, don't fetch firewood, don't play with your friends, don't run around. You understand? Now, as a young boy, he wants to be part of the society. I mean, his mates are swimming and he also wants to swim. So one day, against his mother's wish or will, Tanko went to the river. And when he got to the river, the people in the river were like, Tanko, what are you trying to do? You want to swim? And he was like, what is their business? He's going to do it anyways. You only live once. So he decided to swim. And after he started swimming, suddenly news reached his mother that, Tanko is in the river. Baba don't become stiff. He's no longer moving. His body is just stiff. He's looking lifeless. And they ran to the river to get Tanko. Now, this was how Tanko's life was just going. Series of different sickness, series of different things just bringing him down. Now, the question is, what could be wrong with Tanko? And how would they actually treat Tanko? How would they get rid of this sickness that is disturbing him? Now, let's talk about the good parts and the bad parts of the movie. Should I start from good part or bad parts? Let's start from the good parts. All right, so for the good part, the storyline, I love the idea of the storyline. It carries a lesson, you understand? A lesson to people that are so bent on tradition. And for my place, they do like this. For my place, they do like, grow up, open your eyes, be exposed. My place, they do like this. And some of these traditions are actually hurting the people. Like in this movie, see their tradition. There isn't broom to flog these boys, because so that to drive away whatever is the evil spirit or sickness. This tradition is really, really harmful. Now, I'm not against traditions. Traditions are wonderful. They are things that, keep people in check. But then we have to watch traditions. You understand? So this movie teaches that, and I love that about the movie, and the story was, straightforward. Now, what do I not like about this movie? Yes, some people start frowning face. Now, what I don't like about the movie, first of all, they say this boy Tanko is sick. He's having series of attacks and stuffs like that. But then we only heard it. We barely saw it. The only place we saw when he came down with the sickness was when his mom was trying to give him food, and then he just suddenly went numb and he was no longer saying anything, probably because he did not like the food. Anyways, that was the only place we saw Tanko actually have an attack. I felt they should have added, a little bit more sorrowful kind of, action, a place where he has an attack. I was expecting, throughout the movie, there was nothing like that. Even when they say he went to swim and then he was stiff, at least they would have showed us, when he was trying to swim, when he became stiff, they did not even show him. They just gave a report that Tanko has become stiff, and miraculously, we just saw that they took Tanko from the river. They did not show us what happened to Tanko. So they should have showed parts that, were established when the sickness brings Tanko down. You understand? So that is number one. Number two, the music. Okay, I don't like talking about behind the scene kind of stuff, sound, music, cinematography, those stuff are not my business. But in this one, the music, I think they should have done better in the sound. The sound was not just given to me sometimes. And then lastly, what else do I not like? It's only two. Come to I mean, the movie is nice. For me to have only two bad things I don't like, you guys try it. So the movie is nice. It's actually nice. So like I said, the good thing, I love the story. It's a very, very educative story. One thing, when you watch a movie, at least you should learn something from a movie. It's not, you should learn something from a movie. And when you settle down and you watch this movie, you understand that yes, that's when you start rethinking some traditions, some even some personal beliefs you have. You understand? So I love the educative part of this movie. And lastly, it is a short film. So you don't have to start worrying that, yeah, 1 hour of my time now. I think the movie is just about 30 minutes or so. So it's a short film. The link to this movie will be in the description below. Tanko's Diary. Very nice movie. I love the fact where they were flogging him with broom. Yes, I know it's a bad thing, but sometimes I like bad things. I love that part. So go check this movie out. The link will be in my description or in the comment section below. While I'm off to my next adventure to find a movie that is worthy of our time and our data. Until next time, I am Uhis, the movie guy.